Across 7 star systems and 19 planetary assassinations, their reputation was unblemished. They moved through the galaxy like living shadows, striking with surgical precision before vanishing without a trace. Wealthy warlords paid fortunes for their services. Rival syndicates whispered warnings about the three-fingered death. Even the dreaded Irthak mercenary legions had a standing order to retreat rather than engage them. Tonight's job should have been simple. Vexis, the squad's lithe tracker, examined the holographic dossier with visible disdain. A human scientist on an undeveloped world. Her voice carried the melodic lilt of her species, belying the lethal precision in her movements. This is beneath us. Korath, the massive tactician, scrolled through the mission parameters on his wrist display. Sarah Mitchell, former Earth military, now a civilian engineer. No active security detail. Residence is rural. His mandibles clicked in disapproval. They're paying us a full contract fee for this. Xyrus, the youngest and most impulsive, twirled his plasma dagger with practiced ease. At least it'll be quick. I want to be off this mud ball before local midnight. The trio moved with practiced efficiency through their sleek, cloaked dropship. Each checked their specialized gear, Vexis with her neurotoxin darts and chameleonic skin suit, Korath with his heavy plasma cannon and tactical overlay visor, Xyres with his monomolecular wire garrote and infrared goggles. As their ship descended through Earth's atmosphere, the onboard AI calculated their approach vector. Target residence isolated, the mechanical voice intoned. No nearby law enforcement. Minimal electronic surveillance. Planetary defense grid. Non-existent. Xyrus chuckled, like taking candy from a hatchling. Sarah Mitchell was having the kind of day that made her seriously consider moving to a city. First, the tractor's fuel injector had clogged. Again. Then the damned raccoons had gotten into the chicken feed. Again. And now her 16-year-old daughter Lily was giving her that look. The one that said, "You're embarrassing me just by existing." Again. "Mom, I told you, I don't need a ride to Jake's," Lily whined, scrolling through her phone with practiced disinterest. "His brother can drive us." Sarah wiped grease from her hands with an already stained rag. "His brother is 19 and drives like he's in a demolition derby." "So, you drove tanks in the Marines?" "That was different. I was trained." Sarah sighed and glanced at the kitchen clock. "Just be back by 11 and text me when you get there." Lily rolled her eyes so hard Sarah worried they might get stuck. "Whatever. We're just working on the physics project." Sarah opened her mouth to respond when a chorus of panicked clucking erupted from the chicken coop. She groaned. "Damn raccoons. Again." Grabbing the trusty Mossberg 500 from the hallway closet, Sarah shoved her feet into muddy work boots. The shotgun was an old friend, a gift from her squad when she mustered out. 12 years in the Corps had taught her 2 things. Always check your corners and never bring a knife to a gunfight. The night air carried the scent of cut grass and approaching rain. Crickets chirped in the darkness as Sarah flicked on the porch light, illuminating the path to the coop. Something was definitely wrong. The chickens were making that particular shrieking sound they only made when something had them genuinely terrified. Sarah thumbed the safety off. "All right, you little bastards," she muttered. "Time to—" The coop door exploded outward, not from force, not from impact, but because something impossibly tall and lean simply stepped through the reinforced wire mesh like it wasn't there. Sarah's combat instincts kicked in before her brain could fully process what she was seeing. The thing had too many joints. Its skin absorbed light like Vantablack, and its face. 3 glowing yellow eyes locked onto hers. Blam! The shotgun's report shattered the quiet night. The creature shrieked, an unearthly sound like nails on a chalkboard mixed with a dentist's drill, as the buckshot tore into its torso. Dark, viscous fluid splattered across the coop's wooden frame. Sarah didn't wait to see if it was dead. She racked another shell just as two more shadows detached from the darkness. "Lily!" Sarah bellowed without turning. "Call 911, now!" From inside the house, a distant, annoyed reply. "Mom, I'm in the middle of—" "God damn it, Lily! There are aliens in the chicken coop!" A beat of silence, then the sound of frantic footsteps and a door slamming. The creatures hesitated. Sarah could almost see the confusion in their unnatural movements. This wasn't in their mission parameters. Their prey wasn't supposed to fight back, certainly not with primitive ballistic weapons. Cyrus staggered back, clutching his oozing wound. "She shot me," he hissed in their native tongue. "The primitive actually shot me." Vexus's chameleonic skin flickered with agitation. "This human is unexpected." Korath's tactical visor whirred as it analyzed the situation. "Fall back! Regroup!" Sarah kept the shotgun leveled. "Oh, no, you don't," she growled. "You mess with my chickens, you answer to me." The standoff lasted 3 heartbeats. Then, with a flicker of distorted light, the creatures vanished into the night. Sarah didn't lower the weapon, not until she heard the distant wail of approaching sirens, not until her hands stopped shaking. Behind her, Lily cracked open the front door. "Mom! The cops are coming. Also, did you just say aliens?" Sarah finally exhaled. "Yeah, aliens." She looked at the dark ichor staining her shotgun. "And I think I just started an intergalactic incident." The Zarathi dropship hummed with barely restrained fury as it hovered in low Earth orbit. Inside, Xerus lay on the medical slab, his chitinous armor still smoking from the shotgun blast. The automated surgeon drones clicked disapprovingly as they plucked lead pellets from his exoskeleton. Vexus paced the narrow corridor, her normally flawless camouflage flickering with agitation. "This is impossible. That human should be dead. We should be halfway to the rendezvous point by now." Korath studied the holographic replay of their failed engagement for the 12th time. His tactical visor highlighted every mistake: the arrogant approach, the failure to account for local wildlife defenses, the catastrophic underestimation of their target. "The female fights like a cornered Crixian blood cat," he muttered. "No fear, only calculation." Cyrus groaned as a drone extracted another pellet. "She's just some backwater farmer. How was I supposed to know she'd—" "You were supposed to follow protocol," Korath snapped. "Scan for weapons, identify threats. Instead, you walked into a projectile weapons kill zone like a fresh-hatched grub." Vexus stopped pacing. "The Syndicate won't accept failure. Not for a contract this simple." Korath's mandibles clicked in grim agreement. "Then we adapt. Humans may be unpredictable, but they're still fragile. Still mortal." He brought up Sarah Mitchell's full profile. "We hit her where she's vulnerable." Sheriff Donnelly scratched his balding head as he examined the wrecked chicken coop. "Aliens, Sarah?" "Really?" Sarah crossed her arms, the adrenaline still humming in her veins. "Don't start, Mike. You saw the blood." She pointed to the black ichor eating holes in the wooden planks. "That looked like any animal you know?" The sheriff sighed, adjusting his utility belt. "Look, I believe you saw something. But between us, the county's not going to sign off on an alien attack report. Not without—" "More proof," Lily interrupted, holding up her phone. "Which is why I got video." Sarah blinked. "You what?" Lily smirked and tapped her screen. Grainy night vision footage showed the creatures emerging from the shadows, their unnatural movements unmistakable. The video ended with Sarah's shotgun blast and a very human curse. Sheriff Donnelly paled. "Well, shit." Sarah's phone buzzed. The caller ID showed a number she hadn't seen in years. "Mitchell," she answered warily. "Sarah?" The familiar voice of Captain Elias Reyes sent a jolt through her. "Heard you had some uninvited guests? How the hell—" Black Ops never really lets go, Reyes chuckled. I'm 5 minutes out. And Sarah? Don't let the cops leave yet. They'll want to see this. The line went dead. Dr. Priya Kapoor nearly spilled her coffee when the military convoy rolled up. The petite astrophysicist had been Sarah's lab partner at MIT and now worked at a private defense contractor. She tumbled out of Rhea's Humvee in a flurry of colorful scarves and nervous energy. Sarah, you didn't tell me you were keeping extraterrestrials as pets. Priya rushed to examine the coupe, pulling out a handheld spectrometer. Fascinating! The blood sample exhibits non-terrestrial molecular... Later, Doc, Reyes cut in. The broad-shouldered Special Forces veteran scanned the tree line with practiced eyes. We need to secure the perimeter. These weren't random visitors. Sheriff Donnelly gaped. Captain Reyes, 75th Ranger Regiment? Retired, Reyes said tersely. Then to Sarah. You're working on the quantum shield prototype, aren't you? Sarah's stomach dropped. The Syndicate. Reyes nodded. They've been buying up defense tech across the galaxy. Your design could neutralize plasma weapons. Makes you a target. A crashing sound came from the barn, followed by a string of creative curses. Jake? Sarah groaned. Her ex-boyfriend emerged covered in hay, his flannel shirt half tucked into jeans that had seen better days. Jake, Wildcard Malone, was the town's resident conspiracy theorist, survivalist, and occasional pain in Sarah's ass. Told you aliens were real, Jake crowed, waving a modified cattle prod. Got the whole barn rigged with motion sensors now. They come back. They're in for a... Oh hey, army guys, Lily facepalmed. Unbelievable. Reyes rubbed his temples. Okay, new plan. He gestured to the group. The sheriff, the scientist, the wild card, the teenager, and one very pissed-off Marine veteran. We're setting up shop right here. These assassins won't stop coming. Sarah racked her shotgun with a satisfying click-clack. Good. Let them try. The farmhouse kitchen had become a war room. Sarah's oak table was buried under Priya's alien blood samples, Reyes's tactical maps, and Jake's increasingly concerning collection of homemade explosives. Lily scrolled through security camera feeds on her laptop, occasionally glancing at the alien garrote Jake had borrowed from the evidence bag. They'll come at night again, Reyes said, tracing potential attack vectors on a satellite image. Standard Shadowblade tactics. Silent, isolated, no witnesses. Priya adjusted her glasses, peering at the spectrometer. Except their cloaking has a weakness. She tapped the screen, displaying the alien blood analysis. Their cells refract light at 114.3 terahertz. Basically, they're tuned to natural moonlight. Flood them with artificial light at different frequencies. And they'll light up like disco balls, Sarah finished. She turned to Lily. How many party strobes do you still have from homecoming? Lily grinned. Enough to give an alien a seizure. Cyrus flexed his freshly healed arm, the synthetic chitin still tingling. I still say we glass the entire farm from orbit. Vexus silenced him with a glare. The Syndicate wants the scientist alive first. Her knowledge dies with her. She checked her neurotoxin darts. We go in fast, hard, and most importantly, quiet. Korath activated his tactical visor. New approach vector. Through the underground. His display highlighted the farm's septic system. Humans never guard their waste tunnels. The three assassins slipped into the murky pipes, their sensitive olfactory organs burning from the assault of human biological byproducts. Cyrus gagged. By the void, do all humans live like this? Sarah's boot splashed in the basement's shallow water as she helped Jake position the final strobe light. You're sure about this? Jake tightened a connection on his jury-rigged control panel. Positive. Priya's science crap gave me an idea. If their cloaking works like fiber optics, all we need is... A metallic clang echoed from the septic access pipe. Everyone froze. Reyes silently drew his sidearm. Priya clutched a fire extinguisher like a club. Lily's fingers hovered over the strobe controls. Sarah raised her shotgun. Light 'em up! Lily hit the switch. The basement erupted in a pulsating rainbow of light. Strobe beams sliced through the darkness, bouncing off mirrors Jake had duct-taped to every surface. The effect was instantaneous. 3 alien figures materialized in the chaos, their cloaking systems overloading in a cascade of sparking, glitching distortion. Vexit shrieked as her light-sensitive eyes were assaulted by the barrage. My eyes! I can't! What is this madness? Korath stumbled blindly, his tactical visor flashing error messages. Ambush! It's an ambush! Sarah didn't hesitate. She fired a rock salt round directly into Korath's chestplate. The alien warlord crashed through the basement door in a shower of splinters. Now! Reyes yelled. Jake yanked a lever on his makeshift control panel. The farm's irrigation system roared to life, flooding the basement with 6 inches of electrified water from the modified cattle fences. Xerus convulsed as the current hit him. They're using their own waste against us, he howled, before face-planting into the churning water. Priya cheered, then immediately gagged from the smell. Oh God, the smell. Why did we do this inside the house? Sarah racked another round. Because my homeowner's insurance doesn't cover alien invasion. Vexis, half-blinded and furious, lunged at Sarah with her plasma dagger, only to be clotheslined by Lily swinging from the exposed plumbing pipes. The alien assassin hit the ground hard, her weapon skittering away. Reyes had Korath in a chokehold, the massive alien thrashing wildly. Priya! The thing! Priya fumbled with a modified microwave emitter, aiming it at Korath's sparking visor. With a whine of overloading circuits, the device pulsed, and the alien's high-tech headgear exploded in a shower of sparks. Korath roared in pain, throwing Reyes across the room. The captain crashed into Jake's control panel, sending up a shower of sparks. The lights died. The water stopped electrifying. In the sudden darkness, 3 very wet, very angry alien assassins regrouped. Sarah sighed. Plan B? Jake grinned maniacally and pulled the emergency cord. The basement ceiling opened, dumping 500 pounds of chicken feed directly onto the assassins. Vexis screamed as the grain avalanched over them. What is this tactic? What military doctrine? Free range, baby, Jake whooped. Outside, the chickens, now thoroughly enraged from being locked up all day, descended upon the grain-covered assassins with unholy vengeance. Korath batted away the frenzied birds. Retreat! Retreat to the... A particularly determined rooster named Mr. Peepers launched itself at his face. The assassins fled, trailing feathers and chicken feed, their once impeccable reputation in tatters. The Zarathi dropship's medical bay reeked of singed feathers and wounded pride. Vexis picked chicken feed from her armor joints, while the automated surgeon tended to Xerus's latest injuries, this time a vicious peck wound directly between his ocular ridges. Korath slammed his fist against the control panel, cracking the reinforced alloy. Enough! We are Shadowblades, not clown performers for these hairless apes. Xerus winced as the med-drone stitched his wounds. Their tactics make no sense. Who weaponizes poultry? Vexis studied the mission logs, her chameleonic skin flickering with rare uncertainty. We're missing something. These humans fight like no species we've encountered. No patterns, no honor, just... She gestured helplessly at the footage of Jake dancing in the chicken feed. Korath's mandibles clicked in grim realization. They adapt. Instantly. Brutally. He pulled up Sarah Mitchell's military records. This woman survived 3 combat tours using whatever tools were available. And now... The display showed Sarah's farmhouse, now festooned with Jake's improvised defenses. She's turned her home into a fortress. Xerus groaned. So what do we do? Korath activated the comms array. We change the rules. Sarah wiped down her shotgun at the kitchen table. the smell of ozone and wet chicken still clinging to the air. Reyes studied the perimeter monitors while Priya analyzed the captured alien tech. Jake was elbow deep in the microwave emitter, humming tunelessly. Lily burst into the room, phone in hand. "Guys, the news is going crazy. There's reports of—" A deafening boom shook the farmhouse. The windows rattled as a shockwave rolled across the fields. Sarah was on her feet instantly. "Everyone to positions." They rushed outside to find the barn engulfed in flames. Hovering above the inferno was the Zarathi dropship, its weapons glowing ominously. A holographic projection shimmered into existence, Korath's scarred visage magnified tenfold. "Sarah Mitchell!" The alien's voice boomed across the property. "You have 1 hour to surrender yourself and your research, or we burn everything you love to the ground." The ship's plasma cannons charged with a high-pitched whine, targeting the farmhouse. Then the chicken coop, then Lily's prized vegetable garden, Reyes cursed. "They're calling our bluff." Jake squinted at the ship. "I could probably hit that with the—" "No," Sarah said firmly. She turned to Lily, gripping her daughter's shoulders. "Get to the storm cellar, now." Lily's eyes widened. "Mom, you're not actually—" "Go." Sarah kissed her forehead before turning to the others. "Priya, any weaknesses?" The scientist adjusted her glasses nervously. "Their shields fluctuate during hologram projection, but we'd need—" Her voice trailed off as she looked at Jake's latest creation, a repurposed satellite dish wired to a car battery. Jake grinned. "I can make that go boom." Reyes checked his sidearm. "We'll need a distraction." Sarah racked her shotgun. "I've got just the thing." The Zarathi ship's scanners pinged as Sarah walked calmly across the scorched field, hands raised. She wore Priya's lab coat over her flak vest, a data drive conspicuously visible in the breast pocket. Vexus's voice crackled over the comms. "It's a trap." Korath watched Sarah's approach. "Of course it is. Lower the ramp." As the ship's boarding ramp descended, Sarah subtly tapped her earpiece. "Now." The farmhouse exploded, not with fire or shrapnel, but with light. Every bulb, screen, and reflective surface on the property flared to life simultaneously, courtesy of Lily's hacked smart grid. The ship's sensors overloaded, its targeting systems momentarily blinded. Jake whooped as his jury-rigged EMP cannon fired, the dish arcing a blue-white bolt directly into the ship's exposed engines. The vessel shuddered violently, its shields flickering out. Sarah sprinted up the ramp as the ship listed sideways. Inside, she found the assassins struggling at their controls. "Enough!" Korath roared, drawing his plasma blade. Sarah didn't bother with words. She fired her shotgun point blank into the ceiling controls, triggering emergency lockdown. Bulkheads slammed shut between her and the assassins. Vex's voice came through the ship's comms. "You'll die with us, human?" Sarah ejected the spent shell. "Nah, I read your manual during the EMP charge." She yanked the emergency release lever. "Section 12.3. Automatic escape pod deployment during critical failure." The floor dropped out beneath her as the pod launched. Sarah caught one last glimpse of the assassins' stunned faces before the farmhouse roof rushed up to meet her, and the parachute deployed perfectly. She landed hard in the cornfield just as the dropship's engines failed completely. The vessel listed drunkenly before crashing into the empty pasture, kicking up a massive dirt plume. 3 very battered alien assassins crawled from the wreckage to find Sarah waiting, shotgun leveled. Behind her stood Reyes with a plasma pistol, Priya with her scanner, Jake with whatever that smoking contraption was, and Lily filming everything on her phone. Korath raised his hands slowly. "We yield." Sarah kept the gun steady. "Damn right you do," Xeris groaned. "The Syndicate will disown us for this failure." Lily grinned. "Or you could work for us?" Everyone turned to stare at the teenager. "What?" Lily shrugged. They're clearly bad at their jobs. Maybe they need better management. Priya's eyes lit up. We could study their technology. Reverse engineer. No dissections, Vexus said quickly. Jake scratched his chin. I mean, they did try to kill us. Reyes sighed. Sarah? The former Marine studied their defeated enemies, then lowered her shotgun. You boys ever consider freelance work? The newly christened Mitchell and Associates extraterrestrial security firm had become the galaxy's most unlikely success story. Vexus now ran counter-assassin training with Mr. Peepers as her assistant. Zyrus hosted a popular stream about human pop culture. Korath and Reyes had formed an unsettlingly effective mercenary team. And Sarah? She sat on her rebuilt porch, sipping coffee as the sunrise painted the fields gold. The shotgun leaned against the railing within easy reach. Some habits died hard. Lily plopped down beside her, scrolling through new contract offers. The Yurthak Legion wants to hire us for perimeter defense. Pays good, Sarah smiled. Tell them we're booked until Tuesday. Above them, a new ship descended, this one bearing the markings of the Galactic Council. Sarah sighed and reached for her shotgun. Here we go again.